Hey there everyone, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Lambers with the latest update on today's strong to severe storms. Now we're starting to see some of these already beginning to move in, mainly affecting our inland counties. So Clark, Washington counties starting to see some of that heavy rain here, some of that thunder and lightning, and also probably experiencing some of those gusty winds. Now we've been talking about this all weekend for the severe weather threat. Now some of it's starting to extend further into Mobile and Baldwin counties. So in case you're making any afternoon plans, in case you're heading out anytime soon, we'll just make sure that you're staying weather aware, have a way to get alerts on your phone. And in case you are watching this right now, if you have anything outside that can easily be blown away, if you haven't seen these storms yet, go ahead, bring that stuff inside, because today's biggest risk really is going to be those straight line gusty winds. Now, in case you're joining us on this Facebook Live, let me go ahead and know if you can hear me okay. Again, I have those comments behind me, so I'll be able to see what you're saying during this Facebook Live. Again, just let me know to make sure that you can hear me all right. Let's go ahead, dive right in, just see what we're looking at. I want to go ahead and head back outside. Now, this is going to be downtown. Bayway, Causeway, not looking like the prettiest sight out there, seeing those overcast skies. Again, we're starting to see, it's just most of this cloud cover beginning to move in, but expecting some heavier rain, some thunderstorms, some gusty winds, and really a lot of this starting to move into northern Mobile County and Baldwin counties at this time. So seeing your comments right now, seeing everyone just telling me where you're at. Rachel saying that it's thundering and lightning in Tensaw right now. And seeing that's where that main line of storms is beginning to move through. So zooming in just a little bit closer, Leakesville, Lucedale, just seeing some of that rain at this time, but the most intense portions are going to be further up towards Clark County. Now earlier, I want to go ahead and pan this back just a little bit. There we go. You can really start to see, look up towards Chatham. You can kind of see how that red line of storms is bending out just a little bit. Well, that's called a bow echo. And so what we started to see was just some strong straight line winds ahead of it. A lot of this beginning to move through Mount Vernon and heading closer towards Saraland, Chanchula, Satsuma. So all of those areas going to start to see some of those gusty winds here soon, but starting to already get those downpours and some of this lightning. Pretty active so far, probably the most active portion in northern Mobile County at this time. Just getting a count on that. 92 strikes just within the last 30 minutes. And even then, I didn't even get everything in that. Still just some north or to the east of McIntosh. So starting to move over the Tensaw Delta, making its way closer towards downtown Mobile. So if you're heading out anytime soon, don't forget that rain jacket. Don't forget that umbrella, expecting that to move closer just within about the next hour. So really start to plan ahead in case you're heading out from work early, picking up the kids from school. Still going to be seeing a lot of that thunder and lightning once we get closer towards the afternoon hours, getting closer towards 3 and 4 o'clock. Now I want to go ahead and talk about the severe weather risk for today. We've started to see this push further south. So we're starting to see that yellow zone, that slight risk zone. This is now including Mobile and Baldwin counties. Just with that last update from the Storm Prediction Center that came out at 2 p.m., northern Mobile and Baldwin counties, along with all of Washington and Clark counties, were included in this. Just watching the storm development for today, starting to see some dry air on the back end of it, and that's really helping to work these storms up. So making them stronger, heavier downpours, more active with the lightning, but also those winds. Again, that's going to be that biggest risk for today. Gusty straight line winds. I'm talking gusts up to 40 to 60 miles per hour. So holiday decorations. I know that you probably decorated this past weekend. The weather was fantastic for it. Just keep that in mind. If you have any of those inflatables out there, go ahead, deflate them, bring them inside. Anything that can easily be blown away. Maybe as your trash day today, if you're just resting at home, go ahead, bring that inside as well. But an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out for this afternoon. So we'll keep a close eye on that, especially as these storms push further into Mobile and Baldwin County. Is going to be something to keep an eye on. So as always, make sure you have a way to get alerts on your phone. Turn that ringer up. I have multiple weather apps downloaded. That's going to be the best option for you. The Fox 10 app, it tracks your location. So if you're in a tornado warning, it will tell you. If you're in Baldwin County, but the warning is in Washington County, it won't send you that alert. Only if you're in that warning is when it will send it to you. So best to go ahead and be prepared, just because we've already seen Some tornado warnings today, not for us, but within that line of storms. Still an active one in Louisiana at this time. That is a separate National Weather Service office, so also keep that in mind. They are also the ones that have some control of the counties closer towards us. So just keep that in mind, but keeping a close eye on these. Also, no active warnings for us at this time. Could see some of that change though, but we'll keep you updated here on Fox 10 News. We do go live on air at Fox 10 News at 4, and we have 3 meteorologists in the building for today. We do have myself, meteorologist Matt Barretine, and Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith, all keeping a close eye on the system as it does approach closer. Now, going to go back to radar in just a moment. I want to go ahead and talk about the wind, because I was saying that this is going to be the biggest thing that we're keeping an eye out for today. Pretty calm out there at this time. It was a little bit breezier earlier. Still sustained winds around 15 miles per hour closer towards Mobile and also the coastal spots. You can see that just out of the south. That's also contributing to some of this. It's warm out there. If you've walked outside, it's feeling warm. This is a cold air front. We are in our secondary severe weather season. This is when we typically tend to see a lot of this moving in. Here, I'll go ahead and there we go. I'll go ahead and move it back too, so that way we can talk about it just a little bit, if I don't break stuff first. But the gusts out there, we're starting to see those gusts over 20 miles per hour, expecting even higher gusts. Now, this was just around 10 and 11 a.m. that we were seeing a lot of these, expecting those gusty winds to start moving in within Mobile and Baldwin counties within about the next hour. Panhandle, expecting those closer after 5 o'clock. So that's when that line's really going to be pushing on through. Again, we'll be live on air during all of this. But I was talking about our secondary severe weather season. That's what we see along the Gulf Coast during this time. And this is exactly why. Cold air further up north, warm, moist air further down towards the south. And that's where we start to see some of that counteracting elements. That's what severe weather loves. That's why we typically see this in December, in January, and that's what we're seeing for today. Cold, dry air behind it, warm, moist air ahead of it. And that's what we are seeing for our daytime highs today, mid-70s. It's feeling warm out there. If you've stepped outside, well, don't worry. We do have some relief on the way. Not going to be seeing those 30s and those 40s, but the 50s, that's going to be our daytime highs heading into tomorrow. Now, some of this colder air already approaching closer towards us. Very northern Clark County. You can just barely see a little bit of that green up there. They're already starting to see some of that relief, but that really lets you know where those showers are. Starting to move through Calvert and also Wilmer at this time. In the northern portions of Mobile and Baldwin County. So let's go ahead and go back to radar for anyone just now joining us. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Lambers, keeping you updated on our severe weather potential for today. Already starting to see some of these storms moving through. Now, as we zoom in just a little bit closer, the most active portion's going to be near Citronelle, Mount Vernon, and Tensas. So you can really start to see just where that line of rain is. So heavy rain at this point. Gusty winds also on this. It's even bowing still a little bit. Now the bow echo, this is where we typically see some of those storms intensifying to where they just have the straight line winds. You can see how organized that looks and getting a little bit of that bow structure to it. Now behind it, starting to break up just a little bit. The good portion here is that we did see some storm cells pop up ahead of that. Tends to help the environment just ahead of it just a little bit. But if you're in southern Mobile County, if you're downtown, if you're in West Mobile, probably not really seeing much right now. It's calm. It's not the prettiest look. It's overcast skies just downtown. But again, calm, warm. Just wait for it. That rain is heading our way just within about the next hour or so. So we'll go ahead and run through the FUTURECAST. And I'll take that full. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and run through the FUTURECAST here, starting to move through the inland counties. Now, even then, the FUTURECAST a little bit behind. This shows at 4 o'clock, and this is kind of what we're seeing right now. So the FUTURECAST a little bit delayed, so don't take it too much to heart, but starts to see a little bit more of that organization once we get closer towards 5 and 6 o'clock, seeing it move through Mobile and Baldwin counties. Panhandle, it has it moving through around 8 o'clock. I would expect that closer towards around 7 o'clock, possibly even earlier. It's delaying by about an hour. But then clearing out once we get closer towards 11 p.m., but then heading into the overnight hours, still expecting just to see some of those spotty, isolated rain showers heading on into your Tuesday morning. Now, we'll continue to keep you updated along the way here, just of everything that is going on. Again, no active warnings or anything out there, just keeping a close eye on it. I do want to reiterate, strong gusty winds. That is going to be the biggest threat so far for this afternoon. Make sure you bring in anything inside. If you've been decorating for Christmas, it's a great weekend to do it. Just make sure that you're bringing some of that stuff inside. Don't want to have it end up down the street. I'm going to go ahead and take that radar full in case you're joining us. I'm just seeing all of the comments here. I wanted to say hello to Anissa, hello to Rachel, hello to Liana, hello to Stephanie and Jenny and Terry in Pensacola, Linda, Bonnie in Irvington, Tammy, Debbie, Gwen, Clay in Hattiesburg, Donna, Dawn in Monroeville, Pamela in Citronelle. Rachel says that the wind is picking up a little bit in Tensas. Terry says it's clear in Pensacola. Trina in Loosedale, Selena, in Satsuma, says that it's sprinkling and she can hear the thunder booming. Erica in Westmobile. Joe, no tornado warnings at this time to be aware of. Courtney in Sims, Gwen in Fairview, Deborah in Somerdale, Brian in Mobile. Ann says it's cloudy here in Robertsdale. Nisa says it is thundering in Sims. Liana in Westmobile. Zavada in 8 Mile. Raining in Thomasville, according to Karen. Roy in McIntosh said that the line of storms that came through was flipping over his pool and also lifted the trampoline up. So it was pretty bad for a moment there. Just a reminder that the wind is really the biggest thing that we're looking at, especially in areas just near McIntosh. So areas further up towards our north, heading closer towards Evergreen, Bruton, Atmore, also Bay Minette, expecting you to really be on the gusty side of those winds. Hello to Jen and Theodore. John says it's calm here. Mike says it's dead calm here in Bay Minette. Well, just wait, Mike. It is approaching closer, expecting you to still see some of that Boeing segment too in Baldwin County to see some of those gusty winds once this line of storms does start to move on through. So that is all that I have for today. But again, we are going to be live on Fox 10 News at 4 and 5 p.m. Meteorologist Matt Barretine going to be out in the field just tracking some of these storms as they move through Mobile and Baldwin counties. He'll be in our STORMTracker truck. Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith and I will be in studio tracking some of these. Really expecting a lot of this to be moving through Mobile and Baldwin counties within about the next hour. So if you have anything outdoors to do, go and do it. Think of your kids. Make sure they have those rain jackets or have them ready to go once school does start to get out. But I will always be monitoring those Facebook comments. So if you have anything, any questions, wondering anything, feel free to send those my way. And in case you get any photos or videos of the weather outside, I was monitoring Twitter earlier and I saw that Atmore had quite some clouds out there. They're low hanging. They're called scud clouds, so they look like they could be funnel clouds. But again, no rotation out there at this time. Just looks like it. The low hanging clouds. That's why they're called scud clouds. So not the prettiest look out there, but if you have any pictures like that, if you're ever wondering that, always send them our way. You can send them to my Facebook page, Meteorologist Jennifer Lambers, or you can also send them to the Fox 10 Facebook page. I have access to that, or also submit it to our website, fox10tv.com. Again, just stay weather aware out there for today. Gusty winds, biggest concern, heavy downpours. Make sure you're driving safe in case you are heading out in this as well, because I know it's going to be around dinner time and also your evening commute. Great timing for it. Again, we'll keep you updated here along the way. I do wish everyone a happy Monday and a great week ahead of us. Tomorrow, better weather ahead. Just going to be a lot cooler. We're going to be seeing those upper 50s. Follow a full look at your extended outlook coming up on Fox 10 News at 4 o'clock. Bye, guys.